All right, try this again. I notice some of you guys, you want to see videos or all sorts of stuff. I'm just doing it this way to get my point across. Welcome here. I'm persecuted author. This is part 2, or could be part 2. Of Michigan, we got a drinking problem. Now, everybody loves a good time. I can't tell you that I didn't enjoy my time. But it was a different time in life. It's almost like we're overpopulated with more drinkers and less enforcement. Or enforcement has way too much on their plates, and if you guys want to drink and kill yourselves, you just have right at it. Mainly my point in this is my 33-year marriage got shit on. And it all stemmed from a bar, okay? A local bar. Let me roll this map out just a little bit. And all the drunks and all the accidents and all the problems trickled to my place because I was trying to do my part in working. I didn't realize, I didn't have a crystal ball anymore than anybody else does, where this was going to end up. Wow. Well, I'll just lay it out. I ended up with Graves' disease out of this. The stress was so bad. Crippled me. Crippled me that this topic, for me, I wish I could have illustrated to everybody 3 years ago. Would it change anything? I'm not here to change people, but I'm not here to tolerate people's actions. I never have been. Maybe that's what put me into this position. But my family and I literally have been attacked beyond numbers of people north of 46. Those same people hired us. Those same people offered us the dinner. Those same people said, sure, nice to meet people that are decent, finally. Most of them all grew up in this area. But they also had the same mindset. You be there for me, but I'm not there for you. And even some of them tried to wheel and deal and do business or barter and trade. They already knew they were screwing me or other people. I've watched them do it. They screwed me hard. Is this the revengeful part of it? No. I'm wanting somebody else to pay attention to. Maybe I can help you from having that same problem. If I can point out the things that I missed, and I have other videos that I done a month ago, and my life got busy, that I'm going to put in there. Not really any of them are in order. They're just of the same topic, but different reference points. So I want to go in because I know some of this area because we drove around up through here. This one even floors me the worst or the most. Let's see where it's at. Should be right here. This one right here. Now, you know, I'm not bashing the business. I've not been in these places. But I just know that when you're, I don't know, this place closes at a decent hour because when I worked all these other jobs and stuff, I was on the road different hours of the days and nights because of the job that I had and I choose to do. I'm going to go to this satellite. That'll give me a street view, I think. Yeah, just like that. So, not much. It kind of looks like just a drive-in doctor's office. Not much here. This town, woohoo, same as anything else, right? It is what it is. And it's everywhere, you know. And I'm not judging people because, oh, you don't got money, you're not spending into it. But, you know, the sign, and we can't paint this, we can't paint that. And I have to point this out because the same people would call in on me on a town ordinance and they would knock on my door at 8 o'clock in the morning. Trust me, it happened to me. Nobody even was nice enough to come over and go, hey, you got to talk to this guy before you do that. We were doing something we thought was simple. Another thing, exactly what I'm doing now is pointing out business and stuff and reporting. My family and I were attacked and spied on by cameras from the neighbors we helped. The neighbors we helped. Elkton's got one. It's a little dive tavern, kitchen post. They're in there. Everybody can go and look at where these are at. But this, let's see, local bars. I'm going to jump all the way back across here because right here in this beautiful, little corner of the world, and everybody knows everybody, and even in law enforcement, that's a hard thing I have. I don't agree with that. When you take an oath to uphold the law, your friends should understand that you have a job to do. You shouldn't let them off the hook so you can still be a good guy. But this place here had a poker run. Lord heaven. A poker run? I'm in my 60s, man. You know what a poker run was to me? Bunch of good old badass, nasty son of guns, because I used to deliver ice to their poker runs. Bikers from everywhere. Most of them were Toys for Tots. Most of them was just for a live band and fun, but oh, lordy bless. That's a poker run. I'm going to type it in and see if I can find it. Michigan Poker Run 2026. It's hilarious. This is the tile of poker run. Probably it's not going to show up. Probably got to go to Facebook and find it in there. Let me go do that real quick. I got to show it to you. I'm not making fun, but we're talking about adults making decisions. We're talking about we're so dang bored that we can't do something valuable. Oh boy. And no, it's going to make a liar of it. Okay, so anyways, they had a poker run. And I know how to do it. Hold on. Huron Daily Tribune. This is because, the newspaper's got to get in on it. Let's see, am I going to be able to find it? Oh, maybe. It's worth the time. You ain't doing anything else if you're watching this. Just bear with me. And you don't have to do all of this looking around and everything. Let me see if they find that poker run. Oh, Lord, it's going to make a liar out of me there, too. Let me go back up here. Let me go back. I didn't plan that. See, you can tell it's unrehearsed. No staff. See, here's a poker run. Right, I typed in poker run right here. And I don't have to zoom in. You see what I'm referring to. Well, these guys up here did it at Louisville Bar, and they did it with their quads. That's all right with that. But their poker run was at a tavern. It wasn't somewhere to do Toys for Tots or gifts for children, or food for the needy or anything else like that. It's all right. I am being judgmental, but this is their new poker run. We're on quads. But my point I'm going at, I don't care if you're here. I don't care where you're at. We have forgotten about the drinking and driving law. We forgot about who is responsible. Is it the consumer? Is it the retail? Is it the enforcement? Or is it just plain the state? I personally think it's the state. I think it's personally the state that's doing this. They sold more licenses to create revenue. Now, Here's revenue, right? This is all vacation area up here in the northern part of Michigan, which has been flooded and devastated, the roads and everything else. That is all underwater. Roads are rucked out. But I don't like the word revenue. I only like the word revenue when you're looking at it if you're in a audit or a meeting discussing what was generated. But when we build our revenue on breweries and we're trying to cut costs in Michigan and survive, I'm mad at the electric companies, I'm mad at insurance companies and everybody else. But how do you think all of this takes effect? That's just like a thief in the stores, in the big box. You steal a $100 item, one of us is going to end up paying a little bit towards that every time we purchase something tomorrow because it's loss. Is it so wrong for Michigan to get their head out of their bunions and stop endangering? I'm not going to go do all the statistics here in Michigan and other states and the DUIs. We all know. You got social media. I live here in this state. I've lived here all my life. I partied. Oh yeah, I drank with the best of them. But now, I wouldn't have had my first problem if people that I thought, and when I had my problem in my early 20s, because I was in a bar, when I forgot what my subconscious mind took over, everybody else was conscious enough to stop me, even the owners. Did it stop me from drinking? No. Did it stop me from going to bars? Yes. That was my move. And my wife was always designated driver, more than me. But when there was times we made a change up, it was fine with me. But I did enjoy drinking. Wasn't one of those people who had to go to the bar. I just enjoyed a drink, and I could sit there and do dishes, change diapers, or rebuild a car. Whatever I needed to do. I didn't have to sit down and scream at a TV because somebody didn't get a field goal or a touchdown, or the ref called a bad play. That you think about what you've done to yourself, that's fine. But when you've brought it into my world and you've damaged my life, I have to speak up about it. I make my own mistakes on my own. I don't need no help from anybody. But I know I'm not the only one out there. When you're hearing about everybody complaining about the Democrats and the Republicans and this person and that person, I lived amongst both Democrats and Republicans in Michigan, and I wouldn't turn the hand for the difference of them being decent. The Republicans helped tear me down, especially in 2020, 22, 23. Ripped me and my business apart, and I knew how to do things. I mean, when you have volunteer firemen, Trump supporters, right? You have alcoholic Trump supporters. You have Bible toter Trump supporters. Buying products off of you and then lying to you about it not working. Or I had a guy bring me back a product that wasn't even his. And I might be repeating this even from the other videos. Again, I talk about these things because they're in correlation. Maybe this ain't what people want to see. It doesn't matter. You can do what you need to do, pop an earbud in and just listen. I don't have to show you a bunch of videos and all the other stuff. Sometimes I'll pop in a stat, I'll tell you what I'm doing. Maybe, but this is what floors me. Is it truly the political party, or is it what we've become? And I have to use the politicals because everybody out there is throwing each other under the bus. My family and I was there for both parties. I lived amongst both of them. I worked for Democrats. Nasty rich people. Nasty rich people. I did installs on LED lights. I installed sights on pistols. I told a guy, listen, that's not for that. He said, well, I can't see. I need to. Fine. You know when it fell off his gun, I got blamed for it? And 10, 15 other drunks follow. Doesn't break my heart at all, because you know what makes it nice? I don't have to worry about any of those people coming to me asking me for anything, because they've heard their version of what they think I was. They stayed away. Oh, Lord, my problem minimized. My business failed because I got sick. I lost a lot of damn money. You know, my wife's taking the blame, she says, because, you know, I tried to get everybody to get off their bunions and move, because I've lived in Michigan. I've been, I've traveled, I've vacationed. I've been up to Newberry. I've been over to Marquette. You know, I've been to the Sioux Locks. I've been, you know, I fished the streams around Muskegon and the Waco. We have to segregate Michigan, because Michigan has become another California. Like, there's no people in Northern California that don't get along with the people in San Francisco, I'm sure. But this is a huge problem, because honestly, what helped me stop and realize, because I didn't socialize and drink with any of these people. Maybe a couple of them, but never, I didn't go to the bar. We were asked to. We told them, no, we don't do that. That was probably one of my biggest saving grace. But you know that over 80% of my customers were full-time drunks. The other 20% was Bible toters, religion. I'm not going to name the religion, but I would turn the hand the difference for a political party or a religion or a criminal. I've seen that firsthand. I've helped out elderly women just going to a garage sale, asking me, hey, can you fix this? I fixed the lady's garage door. It wasn't working. She was widowed. Then my wife and I ended up mowing for her. She wanted more out of us for nothing. And then when my help was horrible, she knew it. She got mad at me because I told her I couldn't do your yard no more. And we were only doing it to help her out. Actually, I found out we were saving her $20. Mean woman. You shouldn't be doing that to me, my wife. You know? And ended up taking care of her sister's property. And when I told her that my health was horrible, that these things were happening to me and I needed to save my life, she didn't give two damn shits. And she was a Lutheran. I'm telling you right now. We had a friend down in Ubley. Met her and her husband at our sales, at our home, with our business. I sold them quality products. I warranted products the same as Amazon or Walmart. And I was licensed, insured, doing everything legitly. Those people, oh my, the two of them and her husband, oh, we thought, shoot, great, nice people. Been to their house for Christmas. They'd come up. Sometimes they just popped in whenever they were in the area because they were up having ice cream or doing something. And that kind of got to me, because who knows if I was, you know, sunbathing in the buff. Not really, but at the end of all of that, when her husband, he got sick, had a stroke. Oh, the stories, I don't want to tell you all of it. My family and I was there, even when I couldn't walk, hardly talk. She'd call us. She knew I was sick. Hey, you come over? Oh, my wife and I load up. We had stuff to do. We were 3 years behind. Now I'm 4 years behind. My family and I were there. I have to finish that story quickly because it's a long story, but we were there for their daughters. You know, they had a daughter that died of cancer. My wife went down there and spent hours helping sorting out for garage sales, just being decent. And our shit was piling up. My health, I wasn't making any money. Everybody knows what that means, especially during the COVID and all the expenses going up, and then even now. So he ended up coming home, everything thought was good. Now, he had heart problems. They had open heart surgery, catheters, everything else. They forgot to check his carotid arteries in his neck. That man had a stroke on a football day. Now, he watched football. That was his business. But he never drank or smoked. He had a stroke. His carotid arteries were full. He ended up in a nursing home or a healthcare or something over in Bay City. They had made plans to do a flea market up north. They'd set dates in ahead. You have to in order to have a spot. He had had 2 strokes, and she still called and asked my wife to take a day off work where my wife don't get paid. She got screwed at the job she went to. And she wanted that to happen, and she was still going to go up there. Her husband had a second stroke prior to that swap meet, or that flea market. We told her no. We couldn't afford to. Oh, man. Oh, man. She hadn't talked to us for a long time. Then she popped back in the picture. Then we went over to a funeral. We had our own little funeral in the yard over there. That was fine. People there were looking at me because they'd already heard stories about me before I got there. You should have, oh, my Lord. Oh, God. You people up there in the thumb, shame on you for carrying the Bible, wasting God's time twice a week, and then doing what you do, and I watch you do it. Shame on every one of you. So even after all of that, she even basically said she didn't trust us and hadn't talked to her since. I needed $3,500. I had access to the $3,500. It was going to take up to 8 days to get a transfer because of where it was sitting, maybe 10. This person turned me down. Now, this person, she had talked to me several times about all this money she was getting from his career and his insurance, and she wanted to know how to keep it from being taxed. I'm not hiding anything or doing anything wrong, but the thing of it is what I found out is that at the end of it, when I said, hey, how about $3,500? I'll give it back to you in cash here within the month. Oh, no, I can't do that. I don't trust you. And I didn't care that she didn't give it to me. It was because she had a Bible in her hand. She said, if it wasn't, thank God, praise the Lord, praise the Lord. I heard it all the time. But to tell me she didn't trust me and my wife and my family, oh, Lord. Oh, my Lord. That was the part that hurt. You can burden up my hours. You can call me out of bed. You can cry and I'm listening to you, helping you through all your problems, spending all of my time absorbing your stress. And you didn't trust my family now. I had to take care of my dog, right? So anyways, so I've been over here in this area here. I know how much drinking there. I can tell by all the beer cans laying around. I don't care if you want to drink, you enjoy, and you're responsible. I am not a Patsy Nancy getting into your business. But this is my problem. You've gone beyond responsible. The owners, the gas stations, the stores. I know gas stations have seen people so freaking drunk they couldn't even count out their money if they were using cash. And still had them buy new and they were getting in an automobile. If the laws say we're not allowed to drink and drive, why is the bars open till 2 a.m. in the morning? Why is the bars open till 2 a.m. in the morning? Right? Why is this fine? Now, I have to use another topic because it's been huge over several years. Cannabis. Huron County, or north of 46 up through here, or actually no, just Huron County. Tuscola allows them. Bay City's got cannabis all the way down to Port Huron. Everybody knows. But this county refuses that. But this county will produce more alcoholics. Now, the sad part of it is everybody knows the difference between the inebriation of alcohol and the buzz of smoking a joint. One takes several hours to get out of your system. One just takes mere minutes sometimes. 10, 15, 30, unless you're eating something, I guess. But that's the shocking part of this. If we are allowed to have all that alcohol till 2 a.m. in the morning, why are we restricting what's going on with cannabis? Why is it so restricted on what it's allowed to open and sell, and it's mandated? You can only smoke so much, and then you're past enjoying it. Same as drinking. But I'll tell you right now, if there was a true test, the consciousness of somebody that's high comparable to the consciousness of somebody that's definitely drunk. You can ask any state trooper, you can ask any local or county law enforcement. They'll tell you the truth. They'd rather deal with somebody high than drunk. My thing of it is, if it's going to be equal, it has to be equal across the board. We have to mandate regulations more. We have to stop it. Again, that's because the alcohol and the drunks and the things they did, the accidents that happened, the things that destroyed me, this is just like anybody else drinking and driving and having accidents. Mom's against drunk drivers. Well, persecuted author against it. And if you're a deputy, law enforcement of any rank, and you pull over one of your friends drinking, stop taking them home. Start arresting people. Now, I know the stats up here. There's people in here that have 3 and 4, maybe 5 DUIs. One guy had 6 DUIs here in Bad Axe. And he hit somebody down here somewhere, out south of town. But he was released. He had 6 DUIs and still driving. What we don't do is we don't do blow machines in these vehicles. These people, there was a guy down the road down here. He was on his 4th DUI and he knew how to cut the system. Very laxed. Well, if we're going to have lax, then Michigan needs to change it. My state rep thought that cannabis was a monster. He said it right out of his mouth. And I'll bet you $100 he would be the first one to have 8 beers and drive home. I'll guarantee it. The monster was because of the regulations, not because of the people. It's the same thing with alcoholism and the deaths. Look, you open up gambling casino, but then you have addiction places for it. God, oh, freaking Friday, you guys. I gamble. I play the lottery. But it ain't paid off. Not one bit. But I just wish everybody would pay attention. There's more to follow in this. To some people, they'll probably say, hey, he's just rambling. No, I'm sitting down having a conversation with you as if I've met you and we were just sharing times. You don't have to agree with me. I don't expect no comment. But what I do expect is if you understand what I'm talking about, we need to change what we do. All right? Well, I had to pause one more time. But anyways, I apologize. I don't know how to begin and end this. You can't get a politician anywhere to listen to you. I don't care who you call and who you vote for. You can leave voicemails down here, right? Right here in a big old Lansing, you can leave all the voicemails you want. You can pass all the thoughts over there. They're so busy. You know, and you hear me bashing a lot on the alcoholics. And then there's the Bible coder. Then there's the criminal. Where we moved to, north of 46, this bunch all entwined in each other. You know, it's hard to explain it because it's beyond understanding. So I'll have a Republican that'll, all right, I apologize, I did a search, I had another thing to do, an interruption. But here, look. So all you gotta do is type into Michigan and you're not allowed to possess right? Carry, possess, drink, concealed, controlled, doesn't matter. Laws. Can I? Okay, you're gonna first person I know is already gonna say, well, we can't mandate everybody. No, I'm asking the people, yourself, have you gotten away with being able to break the rules and the laws for so long that you think it's invincible? I'm here defending, well, I'm actually defending innocent families like myself and the cannabis industry because it seems like we're allowed to break this law. So I'm really sorry for the interruption, but my timing must be wrong for choosing to do this. That's all right. Used to be one of those things where we used to call it live or Memorex. So prohibition is what I keep thinking of all the time. Okay? Hard on booze, bootlegging. You had to buy from a store. You couldn't make it yourself. All the way back. Even today, now you can make your own booze. You can drink till 1:30 in the morning, and then you can get in your automobile and drive. But if you smoke one joint and somebody turns you in because they smell it, I think the penalties are harder. You know, uh, why are the lawmakers, Republicans or Democrats, not paying attention to if you're going to set the standards on the two most things that people do? Well, I feel sorry for the ones that had to do cocaine. Gee whiz, I mean, think about that, people. This place up here can't not only happy up here in the thumb with being able to smoke and drink. Oh, there's drugs, there's meth, there's coke, all the way up here. The people have defected from here, all these areas. And then most of them are usually in trouble. And then they come back up here and hide. Or they get on Social Security and they come up here and hide. And then they consume and deal and do whatever they want to do. What makes me mad is when I've seen things and I've reported it, it's always gone underneath the rug. I don't understand if the laws are in place, or if they always said if you see some activities or whatever else, you're supposed to report it. It's stunning how everything is just selectively mandated. So law enforcement or police agencies are busy doing 110 other things. So somebody's going to say, well, we don't have the man to do it. Okay, cut the hours back. Cannabis shops aren't staying open till 1, 2 o'clock in the morning and having their customers smoke all day and then get in the car. Bars are doing it. Bars do it all the time. I could take time. Now the gas is $4.29 a gallon. Thank you very much for my votes. Yeah, that was sarcastic, but when I get time, I am going to record cars and how long they set at a tavern, because taverns are not being responsible. It would be cool if they wanted to have a drink that all their keys went in behind a locks box and they had to blow a breathalyzer before they got their keys. If the bars think that they're creating revenue, I mean, you think about that, you guys. Taverns say they're giving you revenue for the community. Well, I said it before. Why in the heck didn't the lawmakers tax the booze twice and get their money to fix the roads? But look at this. It's a revolving clock of spending and expenses. If somebody gets in an accident, rather it be a deer or following too close, any auto damage falls back on the other safe driver. And our rates go up. Michigan has done nothing to change our rates, our no faults, or anything else like that. And we're kind of like stuck in this spinning wheel. Now, some of us are truly stuck because of inflation. But if we are trying, the insurance company should be the ones doing these videos and complaining and trying to mandate more of the rules. But again, revenue? Come on, people. Revenue shouldn't even be considered when all you're doing is damaging something else and the costs end up going up again to somebody. Their life, like mine, I didn't destroy myself drinking. The other people who were drinking destroyed my life. I mean, if it wasn't for a snowbank out here, the freaking drunk that was next door that caused all the problems and got away with it multi-times in the courtroom or by police chases because they knew him. Well, it's like a Tom and Jerry for us, man. Really? Man. But yeah, you will come down hard on people smoking weed, minding their own business. They're not out there getting aggressive. You see more bar fights and more shooting than you do cannabis clubs people. See, the cannabis industry is for medical reasons, for 95% of the users. I'll guarantee it. Is alcohol medically proven? Or is it socially destructive? It's socially destructive. Rapes, date rapes, drop the stuff. Come on, really? We all know the routine, but nobody's doing a dang thing about it. And I've complained all the way through. Even my local, don't ever tell me that you're a strong Republican and you want to make America great again, and all of you guys are sitting in your Republican seats and not a one of you have got off your ass. And I've challenged every one of you. You know what you do? You come back at me by ignoring me and throwing me out. Really? Did my topic offend you? Or is it revenue again? What you're talking about? Let's go back down here. Let's go back down here. Let's take this little town here because I always like this little town here the most. Because it's the one that thinks it has everything. Okay? Let's look at this. Let's look at their revenue. Okay, so this is a five and dime shop by somebody that's making income from the government called disability. This is a gas station, right, with nothing else to offer but candy bars and booze and the gossip corner. All the dirt goes in here, and let's go back up here. We know this place too well. All the other dirt goes in here, and all the solutionizers fix everything inside of this place. Now, this restaurant here just opened up not too long ago, a couple years. That's about the only thing fantastic. Port Hope is trying. They suckered a lady in here that owns the ice cream shop to buy this old building next door. But you know what I know? The people who run this town, they're not buying the buildings and refurbing them to keep it history. So I'm asking myself the question, if they don't give two craps, why should anybody else? Because it all comes from your leadership. It all comes from your people who are in there. Harbor Beach is basically the same way. You know, it's the good old boys. They're run by good old boys. Don't say nothing. Don't get involved. Don't do anything. And it can go on and on. You could be standing in this store right here and get chewed out by just anybody just being there. So when you guys have all this freedom up here and you don't get arrested, and you have all these bars, why do you keep picking on people and causing trouble all the time and stealing? I mean, you're stealing. You know what you're doing just so you can support your alcoholic habit. Well, that was a ramble topic, but it's very true. It's very true. We don't stop. We don't stop. And truthfully, if you was to put it on a statistic scale, you thought fentanyl was horrible, killing people. How much alcohol kills people, even if they're still alive? Yeah, I think we've ran into a huge problem in Michigan. Michigan needs to get their crap together and be one of the states that pays attention. But you know what everybody says? Oh, we got to have them taverns and them, you know, it's food and spirits. Well, it should be a law. 2 drink minimum. You punch a time card when you go in. So you know how many you've had in a short time. Throw on a breathalyzer before you get your keys back. The laws aren't tough enough. If they're making laws tougher for people who want medical marijuana for themselves to be better, but yet we're letting alcohol financially ruin our state because of the cost. They blame it on the deer causing accidents. You never hear alcohol. That poor lonely deer that was just trying to take care of its family because you farmed out their sleeping quarters for solar, windmill, or for your own field gain. Yeah, I'm talking about you, farmers. You know, everybody says poor always me farmer, but you know what? You ain't helping me save money either. Because when you run deer out of their locations of where their nesting feeds are, they've got nothing left. They come out to the roads to get to somewhere else to cross the road. I'm sorry, it's a revolving effect. It's huge. I can't afford it anymore. And when I spent 3 years of my life praying that I would wake up dead so I didn't have to feel this way anymore because of what happened to me instinctively by humans. This was not self-inflicted. This was a hate crime. This was a tax. And you people are allowed to get away with it. Michigan is a California. Michigan's not changing. Michigan's worse. You're going to vote this year. Who are you voting for? Do you think in the few little hours they're going to be around to clean up somebody else's mess that they're going to make Lansing or Michigan great again? No. Michigan's beyond that. Michigan's beyond that. I don't know what Trump's done, but I know what Biden done. And I already knew, no matter who got in office, you cannot roll back prices. Rent, food, gas, automobiles. How rich did the elite think everybody was to be able to afford this kind of hike? And nobody rolled back prices. Eggs is really the only thing that's come back that I've seen that was yesterday's prices. Nothing else. Nothing. You notice booze didn't go up. Did you notice in the consumption market that all your other beverages went up, but alcohol? In the state of Michigan, in the United States, everywhere across the board, did alcohol do 150% increase jump? No. Ask yourself, why? I'm paying more for boots, paying more for pants, paying more for maintenance for my automobiles, paying more for my utilities, medical costs, hospital stays. Trust me, I know that. The amount of money I need is beyond, but not as bad as most people probably would be. But oh man, I want to know why. When I chewed out my lawmaker, he goes, or my representative goes, I didn't vote. And I go, that's not my point. Weren't you smart enough to bring up another topic about tax and other things and start making this alcohol less accessible? Or are you okay with all the drinking and driving? Oh, that's because you go to the tavern. Oh, I can't, you don't know how hard it is for me not to drink a whiskey. But see, when I drank whiskey. I didn't drink that Bud Light mind-altering crap. I drank whiskey so I can get back up on my saddle and ride again. So that's my thoughts, man. And I know I'm right on. I've got more topics to bring up. It'll be ramble topics. They'll jump back and forth. But I want you to think about it. If you're going to live here and you reside here, when you look at your property taxes, has anything changed? Or is somebody just spending more? When your auto renewal changes, your home insurance changes, everything takes an effect. But Michigan is not hard on drinking. The United States is not hard on drinking. Look, you go all the way back down to Miami. Remember? They had all Florida Boy, people regret spring break. Guess what? In the thumb of Michigan, I regret the activities and things that they do up here. Because all the people that speed all the way up 25. I've drove all these roads around through here, always to get all the way up here to drink. Campgrounds. You know, it's funny that people will spend $89,000 on a house on wheels to go to another community because they wanted to get away from the city. But they're going to an RV city. People right outside their door. I don't know. I think that's just contenting yourself without without really solutionizing. I think it's stupid, but that's me. Doesn't mean you can't go be what you want to be. If you're going to camp, you need to camp. You guys go from one luxury home to another luxury home. Just so you'd have an excuse to drink and then not help your wife trim the hedges or paint the deck or whatever needs to be done at home. Now, I'm going to go out with the boys. We're going to go kill a coyote. What are you killing the coyote for? Because we can. Right? It's the same for when you're allowed to drink. Because we can. Yeah. And you guys call yourself the men that are raising the offspring for tomorrow's world. Go back. Everybody's got access to tons of TV channels. Why don't you go back and start looking at old shows? Pick them. Just select them. It could be Western. It could be romance. It could be comedy. Go look at the gestures and the way people were. You know, Matt Dillon took care of the criminals right there. They didn't get much jail time. Same here. I see people get out of jail or crimes that have been horrendous crimes. Back in that day, if Matt Dillon would have let anybody out, the town would have formed a posse and strung them up themselves. Now you can't do that. It's against the law. It's against the law to have justice as a citizen. Maybe that's why I ended up with Graves' disease. I wasn't able to take it out on somebody. But I'm hoping you understand my point. I know what it did to my 33-year marriage in my life. And it wasn't because I was drinking here. Well, I probably shouldn't have been drinking here. But I drank more when the problems occurred. Well, then when my health got bad, I thought one way or another, I'm either going to die or lick it. But I'm going to go out happy. Well, all of a sudden the taste just went away and I was so happy. And I want to thank you fools up here in the thumb. I want to thank every one of you uneducated morons. The same adults that attacked my family are the same adults that attacked other students in the school. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. You didn't get your whooping, did you? You should have. You should have. I watch what you people do. And you've got the community. You got the people that are drunk, fooled. I worked with most of you. That's why you don't talk to me, or that's why you try to slash my name. I look at you and go, what are you doing? Yeah. Yeah, because you thought you were so famous and so popular. And actually, if you think about that, when you go to these towns and you get embedded into the middle of it, and you see it just by running your business, you can see that the last name people that are here are the ones who have destroyed it because it's their old ways of doing things and nobody's telling me what to do. Fine. But you shouldn't deceive people to come to a better place with a big welcome. Never. Never. They only want the revenue and they want you out. Let's do this. I'm already in here. And let's do this. Let's go back up here because this picture showed up right here. Let's just do this one right now. Everybody loves this place, apparently, right? Right? We all know what this is, right? Everybody. See all these people out here? Do you guys know the real truth about this place? See this name here? Let me go all the way in here. Everybody knows it. There's the rock. All of this right here is now a gated community. How did that happen? This was not a township. This was open before. Everybody always brought their families up here to see that rock. So I'm just going to keep right on going. So the DNR is calling this a kayak launch, Eagle Bay. Everybody knows about that. Do you know how many hours it is from there to here? There's already been one life lost in the short time that I know of, and probably, and many saved, many rescued. The next place you do is clear over here. You know how many people try to get over here? Now, if you manage to make it out here, you're so dang tired you can't turn around and go back. They have on their beach out here in front high schoolers. They're guarding their beach and these people up here at PAB think they own this rock, Turnip Rock. That's a Michigan tourist site that you're not allowed to go to unless you swim to it at risk, unless you own property adjacent somewhere. Pretty sad. Do you know that all of this in here is a Democratic field? Do you know that all of this out here is a Republican field, supposedly? Do you know these people drink and drive all the time, run this town? I even heard that money was being paid to departments so everybody would overlook it. But this place here should not have been gated off ever. They don't want you back there to see their places and their homes and all these $1 million. Oh, and if you want to buy real estate in this crap hole, you have to go through a review board. If this thing is a town, then it was okay that it got its USDA revenue for sewer. But nowhere is this a township. Nowhere in the books. They don't pay their taxes to themselves. They pay the taxes back to the county. So how did they get a sewer grant? They paid to flush all their poop down, all their gold turds. Now these people that live up here, here's the crazy part. These people up there in this fancy little thing keeping you away from one of Michigan's tourisms are all from where? Let me just enlighten you. 80% of them are right here, if not more. You're buying cars from them. You're probably buying food from them. You might have bought housing material from them. These rich little spoiled people that smile to you all week long when you're doing business, fly up here, lock this off, and then what they'll do, I'm telling you right now, they'll stand in there and talk crap about they don't need you people in there, they don't want your kind. But these people want your revenue. They want your revenue back where they invested their family's money. Right here. Right? Very seldom of them do you find any of them in Jackson, Ann Arbor. Now some are from Texas. The Texas one was a little bit of a oopsie-doop. I'm sure there had to be some child trafficking in there somewhere. When we had our business and stuff going on, and we ran into a lot of people, somebody who knew directly said this is the biggest child trafficking route all the way through, all the way to the tip. Child trafficking. And I'm sure drugs, because drugs get all the way everywhere. But here's the thing. I always seen border agents on this road all the time, all the way around. You always seen them. Coast Guard and everybody. Biden come in, nothing. Trump's back in, I see nothing. This is one of the most heavily trafficked areas. But this is what surprises me. Is it led to this place that's hiring retired police officers, and they all drink. The guards drunk. The stories that have been told by the people who have lived around here forever, there's a lot to ask. There's a lot to ask. Port Austin, Port Austin knows the truth about turnip block. The officials and everybody in there, nobody says anything. No one says anything and rocks the boat. Does that mean because, mafia, hitmen, cartel? I don't know. I have a right to speculate. But it all comes from down here. But at the end of the day, when you tell me it's for revenue, and all it does is crush individuals on a daily basis, then you've got to re-educate yourself. And I hope whoever gets voted in to run Michigan, and I'm hoping I'm not here, I'm done with Michigan, if I can find a way in a prayer to get out. I hope that somebody pays attention to all of those things. If you're trying to make America great again when you voted Republican, you're not doing too damn job taking care of Michigan as Republicans. I've watched you work. There's too many people that have left the Republican Party and went to Libertarians because of that. I'm not saying the Republican Party was the only party left. That's just the one I've always been in. But I've never seen so many freaking nasty people in my life until I moved up where the Republicans truly reside, as they hide in between their Social Security disability, their alcoholism, their thievery, and their persecutions. I at least think sometimes I'm better off living right in Flint than to live up here amongst hypocrites, forked tongues, persecutors. Yeah. Yep. I'm not saying it would, but never been up here. Well, anyways, put that in your pipe and smoke it. Share it. If anybody's been into any of these places, anybody's had any experiences, I want to know about it. I don't want to know about it so we can turn it into a Karen, Patsy, Nancy moment. I want to know about it because I'm telling you we have a huge thing. And if you like Michigan and your kids and grandkids, you want them to reside here, fix it. Fix it with a prayer. But your politicians, I don't care who they are, nobody's meeting in the middle. And nobody's got time to talk to the residents, no matter where you're at. They're throwing you out of council meetings. They did it to us. They don't respond to you at every level, all the way up that you're supposed to make phone calls to. They just avoid you. Well, I'm sad. And if my breath comes out of me before all of this is done, I don't know how I'll ever rest in peace, because of the devastation humans have bestowed upon, and my family brought no threat to nobody. Just questions. Talk to you later, everybody. Persecuted author. I'm trying to be as YouTube professional as I can, but it's just me and you conversate. And I hope you agree. I hope you understand that my thing of it is the kids tomorrow screwed if we keep this up. And that's who I care about most. I don't care about the adults. You're old enough to take care of yourself. But if you brought a child into this world, it's your job to make sure it changes, not to make it worse. Talk to you later. Be safe. Have a great day.